Om Ajnanathimirandaśya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Aham Sarvasya Prabhaho Mataha Sarvam Pravartate Iti Matva Vedante Mam Bhura Bhava Samavitaha. So, in this verse, Krishna is establishing that he is the source of both the spiritual and material worlds. The materialistic population in the present civilization does not acknowledge the existence of the spiritual world. They do not acknowledge the existence of the spiritual planets, and their limited understanding leads them to believe that everything that exists is on this material planet, and when a man dies, that's the end of the whole show. Even in the Bible, there are so many verses that talk about the existence of the spiritual planets, which is beyond the material world. So, spiritual planets exist, and that is a fact of life. In the Vedic scriptures, we gain information about both the material and the spiritual planets. Regarding material planets, it is said that they are called Kuntaloka. And the nature of Kuntalokas is that everybody is always unhappy. In the Kuntaloka planets, there are two principal characteristics. One is Dukhalayam, misery, another is Ashashatam, everything is temporary. The spiritual planets are called Vaikuntha planets. Vaikuntha means a place where there is no anxiety, no misery at all. And the spiritual planets are self-illuminated. Just like in the material world, for example, nothing is self-illuminated. You either need the assistance of the sun in the daytime or artificial electricity in the night to be able to see. But spiritual planets are self-illuminated, and because they are called Vaikuntha Loka, there's absolutely no misery there at all of any type. So the Vedic scriptures are issuing an appeal to humanity. The appeal is to perfect your life so that you can transport yourself from the Kuntha Loka to the Vaikuntha Lokas. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives us information about the spiritual planets. Krishna says, Paras tasmati bhavanyo vyakto vyaktat sanatana. He says, Sanatana, the spiritual planets are eternal. And even when the material planet is annihilated, the spiritual planets do not get annihilated. So, Krishna is the source of both the material and spiritual planet. In other words, nothing is independent of Krishna. So, Krishna is the source of material and spiritual planets, and everything is emanating from Krishna. Now, in society, there are two classes of people, the Asuras and the Suras. The Asuras don't acknowledge the position of God or hold God to be the cause of all causes. The Suras, they acknowledge God to be the cause of all causes and the source of this creation. And since the Suras acknowledge the position of God as the cause of all causes, as this verse describes, they engage in service to the Supreme Lord. Why do the devotees engage in devotional service? They are fully convinced about the position of the Supreme Lord. They are fully convinced that the Lord is the cause of all causes. And they recognize that devotional service is the medium through which you can capture the Lord. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami has explained that Krishna will even award mukti, but he will very rarely award bhakti, because through bhakti, Krishna gets captured. Therefore, those who take to the path of bhakti are the most fortunate individuals. They are most fortunate because bhahunam janmanam ante jnanam amam prapadayante vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabhaha. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, after many, many millions of births and deaths, is he the fortunate soul who receives the seed of bhakti. So, to get the seed of bhakti is great fortune. And the devotees are convinced about the supreme position of the law of the Lord. Therefore, they engage in devotional service with full conviction. So the fact that Krishna is the cause of all causes is accepted in all the Vedic scriptures. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Vedesa sarvaraham eva vedayo vedantakit vedavet eva chaham. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. So, the Vedic scriptures establish that Krishna is the source of all material and spiritual worlds, and also that Krishna is the source of the demigods. One of the offenses that we chant every day when we recite the 10 offenses is to consider the names of demigods to be equal to or independent of the holy names of Lord Vishnu. So, the power, the ability that the demigods have is also being derived from Krishna. In the purport to this verse, Prabhupada has quoted few verses in support of this one point, how Krishna is the cause of all causes, including the power that the demigods have. In this part of the world, you devotees don't have this problem about confusing the supreme position of Krishna with that of demigods. But in other parts of the world like India, this confusion is very, very strong. And people conclude all gods are one. No doubt there are many Ishwaras. Ishvara means controller. But there's only one supreme Ishvara or Parameshwar. Said, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Govinda Sarva Karna Karnam. That there are many Ishwaras, but Krishna is the supreme Ishvara or Parameshwar. So Krishna is accepted as the supreme Lord even by the demigods themselves. If you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, you will see that in the Bhagavatam, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, they're constantly glorifying the supreme position of Krishna. Lord Shiva has offered very wonderful prayers in glorification of Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto. The demigods make grand benediction even for material desires. But Krishna only desires those benedictions by which the devotee can realize his constitutional position. And even the demigods, they are protected by Krishna. It's not that Krishna is protected by the demigods. I'll tell you a nice story in support of this point. You want to hear the story? I know you devotees like spiritual stories. So, once there was a very powerful demon. This demon wanted to kill everyone. Hiranyakashipu was also a powerful demon, isn't it? So this demon went to Narada Muni. He told Narada Muni, this is my desire. I want to be the supreme. Who can give me the benediction by which I can become supreme? So Narada Muni is very intelligent. He always wants to show how Krishna is supreme. So Narada Muni told him, go to Lord Shiva for this benediction. So Lord Shiva has his abode in Kedarnath. It's in the mountains. Ochin Hlodna. It's very cold there. So this demon went over there and he started performing sacrifices. So he started performing sacrifices, and that included offering flesh from his body. He was offering the flesh from his body for 6 days. He was trying to attract his Lord Shiva's attention. So, and on the 7th day, he was getting ready to offer his head. Just like when we offer fruits to the deities, we clean the fruits before we offer it. So the demon went in the river, he cleaned his head, and he was getting ready to offer his head in the fire sacrifice. So as he was about to offer his head, Lord Shiva appeared. So Lord Shiva said, what are you doing? Why are you offering your head? Why did you offer so much flesh from your body for the last 6 days? He said, I want a special benediction from you. Lord Shiva said, don't worry, I'll give you the benediction. Take the flesh back. And Lord Shiva, by his arrangement, all the flesh that was offered in the fire sacrifice was put back on the demon's body. So Lord Shiva told the demon, I'll give you the benediction you want. Tell me, what do you want? Don't offer your head. So the demon told, the name of the demon was Vrikasura. So the demon told Lord Shiva, give me the benediction that wherever I place my hand, that person's head will burst open. Actually, Vrikasura wanted to enjoy Parvati, Lord Shiva's wife. So as soon as Lord Shiva, when he heard that this is the benediction that he wanted, he said, how can I give you this benediction? This benediction will destroy humanity. But Lord Shiva realized that he has already given his promise that he will give the benediction. So he had no alternative but to give him the benediction. So as soon as Lord Shiva gave him the benediction, that wherever he kept his hand, the person would die, he at once stretched his hand to keep it on Lord Shiva's head. So as soon as he brought his hand to keep it on Lord Shiva's head, Lord Shiva understood that now he's going to use his benediction on killing Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva ran to the higher planets. Wherever he ran, Vrikasura was right behind him. But everyone said there's nothing they can do. Finally, Lord Shiva reached the spiritual planets. He reached Svetadip. So Lord Narayan knew that Lord Shiva was in trouble. So Lord Narayan knew that Shiva was running towards him for protection. So Lord Narayan disguised himself as a simple brahmachari and he stood at the gate of Svetadvip. So Lord Shiva came running. But Lord Narayan told him, just sit down. Lord Narayan knew why Lord Shiva is running. A little later the demon came running. Have you seen Lord Shiva? Do you know where Lord Shiva is? So the simple brahmachari said, why do you want Lord Shiva? So he said, he has given me the benediction that wherever I keep my hand, that place will burst open. So I want to kill him because I want Parvati. So the brahmachari said, I don't think this benediction that Lord Shiva gave you is going to work. Ever since Lord Shiva had a fight with his father-in-law Daksha, he has been speaking a lot of nonsense words which have no value. Actually, Lord Narayan was so clever that when Vrikasura came running, he paid his obeisances to him. And he convinced him that he knew his father also. So when the demon came in, he was convinced that what the brahmachari was saying may be true. So the brahmachari told Lord Shiva, this benediction won't work. Why don't you test this benediction first? And if the benediction won't work, and then you have every reason to kill Lord Shiva because he gave you a benediction which was totally false and he's a liar. So as soon as Vrikasura was convinced by the brahmachari it was a useless benediction, he could test it even on his own head, the benediction was not going to work in any case. So Vrikasura kept the hand on his own head. And as soon as he kept the hand on his own head, his head burst and he died. So Lord Shiva was very happy that Lord Narayan has saved his life. So there's so many other stories, all in support of one point, that Govinda is the cause of all causes. Indra was very proud of his powers. He released unlimited rain, but he was defeated and he acknowledged his foolishness. Brahma wanted to test who this wonderful boy was, cowherd boy. He stole all the cows and cowherd boys. But then what did he see? That Krishna had expanded himself into unlimited cows, calves and cowherd boys. Once Lord Brahma went to see Lord Krishna in Dwarka. So when Lord Brahma was going in, the doorkeepers stopped him. They said, who are you? Who do you want to see? So the four-headed Brahma told the doorkeeper, tell Krishna that Brahma has come. So the doorkeeper got Krishna's permission and the four-headed Brahma went to see Krishna. And what did he see? There were many other Brahmas present in the room having darshan of Lord Krishna. Some Brahmas had 1,000 heads. Some had 500 heads. The four-headed Brahma was the smallest of them all. So the four-headed Brahma, who is the creator of this universe, is the smallest of all the Brahmas. So Krishna is explaining that he is the source of everything material and spiritual. So this universe that you and I see, it is just a small bag. It's just like one mustard seed from a big bag of mustard seeds. So Krishna is the cause of all causes. So all of you who have come here have some faith in Krishna. Some of you come here regularly, some may have come here the first time today. But it does not matter. The fact that you have come to Krishna reflects that you have pious activities in your bag with you. So please take advantage of this Krishna conscious process and perfect your life. If you want to be in a position where you always remember Krishna, that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, then you have to follow Krishna's orders. And Krishna's order is always chant his holy names. So Sikda Pastare Hare Krishna, and you'll always be happy. Hare Krishna. If I don't go now, the train's going to go away without me. And the devotees are waiting, signaling to me, come. See y'all on Monday morning. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.